Roll call.
Jacob.
Kaya.
Nick.
Ryan.
And Steven! Welcome back,
Clean.
everybody. Yeah, well done. Better than the last one, let me tell you, because I re-listened to it, and...
The last one was as bad as it gets.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We had
Other
some
than,
last.
4 people at the same time.
Yeah, and I finally figured out you gotta wait a couple seconds and let apparently Twitch stream needs to warm up before it really starts giving everything. Because there's a couple where it like gets us halfway through, and I'm like, wow, they've been missing the whole bit. So I'll get that done proper. Get it done proper. Anyways, welcome back,
Proper.
everybody, to episode 35 of Tyranny of Dragons: The Lost and Found, based off of the D&D expeditions. On our last adventure with our favorite adventurers guild, the Heroes of Flan, many different names and many different races, and the bunch of weirdos that we continue to follow as they get deeper and deeper into this addictive lifestyle that they have found themselves in. The finale having passed from the Dark Pyramid of Sorcerer's Isle, the party descended down the side of the pyramid, leaving it behind, seeing that the pipes had finally stopped pumping out raw chaos stuff on the side. Had a word with Surik as she stayed behind to help kind of the transitionatory process of getting rid of some of the more nefarious elements of the island that were left behind after such a massive change due to chaos magic. Apologizing for shooting some of you guys multiple times. Sucks to suck, apparently. But, in the end, prices were paid as everybody, including Surik's weapons, were turned into food. As you guys made it back to the Purple Worm tunnel that burrowed underneath the Stojanau, you looked all back to see that the Dark Pyramid, after sustaining so much damage and having so much change from the raw chaos stuff, collapsed in on itself, finally ending a very dark swath of history around kind of the Moon Sea. As you all began to go down into the tunnel, Gelt felt a cold presence in the voice of the ghost that you guys had fought earlier in there. Reprimand, Gelt, is probably a word that could be used for that instance, as Gelt felt something very cold cling onto almost his very soul, like something had attached to it. And on Gelt's left hand, it turns completely black. There's a cold, numbing sensation. And Gelt came to a very difficult night, realizing that his connection to Tyr had been damaged by said ghost in some way that he does not fully understand. As this realization dawned on Gelt, especially losing his mental connection to his horse, you all made it back to Cavil's Hill, permanently changed, with Rain being a size larger than they began, and with scaly gold-colored skin, with Siren being a size smaller than when she left, Alder being a tabaxi instead of a fire genasi with a centipede for a tongue, and Gelt be going from a human to a high elf in a more than ironic, if not bitter change of fate, especially for Siren, looking at that.
Do not.
Already did, but you returned back to Cavil's Hill, where, unsurprisingly, nobody recognized you all until I had to explain for a second time what had happened, as every time you guys leave from Cavil's Hill, something awful happens, and you guys come back changed, whether by time or by form.
The
Why do I
lost
feel
and
like-
found slogan is, see what had happened. What?
Yeah,
See what
literally.
happened was?
I feel like it won't be the last time we explain these kinds of things.
No.
to people. Yeah.
Oh, God.
But luckily,
Let
as
it be
much
done.
as you guys changed, the Leaky Bucket and its outrageously fantastic hospitality does not change. Even if there's a much younger member of the Leaky Bucket team now bouncing around. You guys purchased a wagon so that Rain could travel more comfortably. Moon Sea and Rummy having a very interesting side by side as you guys made great haste down from Cabell's Hill to Flan. You made it back home, talked to Lila, got your finances together, once again adding a hefty sum to the lost and found coffers, even receiving quite a hefty sum for your own personal accounts. We took care of our mechanical business. New cloaks of billowing were made for the entire lost and found. Green cloaks with a hood with 4 pockets, 2 on each side. And as a bonus action, can billow dramatically in the direction of your choosing, befitting a guild such as the Lost and Found. Gelts received a new prototype of the chain whip that they were really the progenitor for. 5 years later, improvements have been made. A dangerous new whip that can deal great damage to enemies and to the wielder if not used carefully. I believe Gelt also went and got his Ghost Step tattoo re-tattooed back onto their new body. Siren continued to map out the Quivering Forest and has done a rather phenomenal job after spending, at this point, nearly 2 months mapping it out with her cartographical tools. Alder, and we're going to do a bit of smart retconning here, went and had a new type of surgery's not the word, process done to where Alder's claws are now coated in adamantine that can be sheathed in and out. Letting those be, you're like our own personal kitty Wolverine.
I am all for this decision.
Very
Rain spent time training with Philistrum Wondercondoodle, eventually learning how to make kind of a reverse Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, to shrink back down into a manageable size for 8 hours. Learning also how to collect and synthesize striped toadstool specifically. Really the key piece being that chimera horn that allows Rain to be able to, remember what it's like to be a normal size before going back to being the largest dwarf there ever was. I believe that if I remember correctly, that's all the mechanical things we got done. Am I missing anything else here, team? Ooh, Alder copied all of his spells into a new spell book. Something nice and befitting a level 6 divination wizard, and put his old hodgepodge notebook of different scraps and scrolls and papers and significantly damaged at this point book onto the shelf as both a keepsake, its own little kind of Alder memoir, and a reminder of how far you've been. Then we dropped into the vignettes. Siren went to her ceremony deep in the Quivering Forest to become an Autumn Reaver. There she was reunited with her father, Delon Winterhund Lai, along with Elder Burl Ka and Serenola the Whisperer and her faithful companion, Jitters. There, Siren offered up one of her kidneys to partake in a druidic ritual, which from this kidney sprouted a staff, one might call a Siren's Staff of the Woodlands, or Staff of the Quivering Forest, or maybe the Staff of Siren, name to be determined by Siren, which granted many, many boons, and got to share this experience with one of the people most important to her life. As the ceremony came to a close, and Siren was given a last bit of reprieve to be with her father, he gave her a significant heads up about what had been happening in the Crypt Garden forest, where Delon and many of the other Emerald Enclave members and other faction members of various places have been trying to contain and deal with Caligula Mater, also known as Old Gnawbone, an ancient green dragon. Whilst Caligula Mater has fled from Crypt Garden for the time being, many of her children, her kin, have fled in many directions. Notably, Vorgan Shorax, the maned virulence, was seen headed east, a dragon of significant size, and known by a singular maimed wing, making that for a poor flyer. With that information given, Delon Winterhoon stepped back into the tree that brought him thus, and he was back to business once again. Siren left with her new staff and a new understanding of the trials and tribulations to get there and what is possibly to come. Then we switched on over to the Zenitrim, where Alder and Rain had what some might consider the best goddamn day ever, as they got tailored fitted for new clothing, which included all the accessories. They got the gold rings, they got the gold necklaces, they got the all black everything, the matte black from head to toe. We're talking the freshest threads, we're talking being waited on hand and foot, charcuterie boards, drinks, carriage, personal carriage to and from wherever they wanted. They went to the Velvet Doublet, one of the nicest eating establishment in all of Flan, where they got to have not only probably the best damn prepared steak they'd ever had, but also Evermead, a rare and exquisite drink, that takes 100 years plus to make, made only by elves, made exactly the same way every time, and listened to a performance that left both Alder and Rain starstruck by none other than C, the left-hand lady of Chab. Alder and Rain were then taken to the Zenitrim Estates, where the entire soiree was taking place, with more Zenitrim members that have been in a single spot than either one of them has memory of. And what a soiree it was, with singing, dancing, drinking, food, fighting, gambling, everything one could want from the family, with everyone in their nicest of nices. Even running into an old friend of the party, Celis, the lizard folk, who, due to certain circumstances and planning on both Celis and Chab's part, has also arisen through the ranks of the Zenitrim, becoming kind of the personal guard of the Dreadlord himself, Trent, who the party once upon a time had manacled on the road of Flan, but who is now what we would call the equivalent to the Dawn of the Zenitrim, making an appearance. Whilst the festivities were brewing and cajoling, what's the word I'm looking for? The revelry was in full power. Rain and Alder were led back into a classic, almost Scooby-Doo style hidden chamber behind one of Chab's bookcases in his personal study. There they each went to a separate room where they were tasked with their final mission to obtain the rank of Viper with the Zenitrim, a final test of loyalty, to see whether or not Alder and Rain could do what needed to be done when asked, knowing the full consequences. For Alder, it was to make good on a late-night promise given to Chab quite some time ago, to kill Sand Krulik, with Alder using these new, we'll say, adamantine-tipped claws at the time, with Green Flame Blade used on top of them to finally end Sand Krulik, leader of the Grey Patriots and devout follower of Bane, and finally end his scourge upon the land. Rain had to put down what was once a sister-at-arms, a fellow mercenary, someone who had been paid and seemingly caught up in some of the Grey Patriots' dirtier work, having been part of a ring of assassination attempts through Flan, and then who had, in many ways, redeemed themselves with the party by helping secure Sand Krulik, Rain made a difficult choice, but family business comes first. And with the Gigi, the Golden Grimace, a vicious great axe, removed Rathine's head from her shoulders in one of the cleanest strikes to ever grace that blade. Chab was incredibly proud and happy at the decisions made as he introduced the two newest Vipers to the family. Now, before we head back and finish the last vignette before we move on with our story, I do want to add two things to Rain and Alder's kind of repertoire of things. Rain, on Gigi, after having a day or so with her, at the top you notice that there is a new addition to the blade. A gold coin appears at the top of it, of course with the smiling lady, Timora, and this is going to act much like a...
One more time for me. Things are cutting out for some reason. I think it's on my end.
So at the top of Gigi, a gold coin appears in kind of the woodwork of Timora, the smiling lady herself.
Got it.
This is going to function as a what would be like a dark shard, but what that means for you is this can be used as your warlock focus, and once per short or long rest, you may make a Arcana check, I believe, and you may, upon success, use any cantrip off the warlock list, even if you do not have it known.
That's cool. Awesome.
Alder, you receive a new hat, much like the one that we have posted in the chat of Merlin from the TV show Cursed, which I'm a large fan of. This is a hat of wizardry, which functions very much the same as Rain's new addition, which is whilst you wear the hat, it counts as a wizard focus for you, and making a similar Arcana check, you may use any cantrip off the wizard spell list, and then that recharges on a short or long rest.
Awesome. Good to know.
Yes, and you may style that's the look I was going for, but it is a magical wizard hat, so you may style it accordingly. Though I do kind of really like how that
I was
looks
gonna
right
say
there.
the Merlin one, like I think that looks perfect with the outfit that we have going for Alder right now. So, I mean, if we need to change it later, we'll change it. But I kind of like that as the visualization here.
Yep. So for both of you, let me be as specific as possible. You can try to cast a cantrip that you don't know. The cantrip must be on the wizard or warlock spell list, and you must make a DC 10 Intelligence Arcana check. If it succeeds, you cast the spell. If the check fails, so does the spell, and the action used to cast the spell is wasted. In either case, you can't use this property again until you finish a long rest. So it's not a short rest; it's a long rest. But
Perfect.
just a little extra flavor on that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Very cool. Never know when that'll come in handy. So nice.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. So we return now to Geltmore. Gelt, as I said, time is going to be kind of fluid in this kind of month off that the Lost and Found is going to take. So Gelt, after coming home, getting finances together, perhaps even having time to maybe avoiding, maybe just taking care of business in Gelt's mind, Gelt finally returns to the waiting and is full regalia to await whatever comes next. Gelt has had a difficult adjustment in some very physical ways. Now being an elf, specifically the trance, going from having to actually sleep to never sleeping ever has been a hard adjustment. The unmistakable and growing sense of dread every time you look down at your left hand, and the fear, the loneliness that comes with being disconnected from Tyr. There's only one place that Gelt can go for kind of guidance at this point in time. Gelt, you head towards the waiting in your full regalia, and upon approaching, you see many of the waitings, kind of acolytes, a few of the paladins trading in the yard. You get an odd couple of stares, but it is armor-bearing Tyrs. Some nod to you. Some look at you bizarrely as you make your way into the main hall of the waiting. There at the head, you see standing in front of the large scales with the longsword. I believe it's hammer for. No, it's yes, hammer for Tyr in front. You see the High Avenger, a half-elven male, middle-aged, starting to gray a bit, but with plenty of the strength and vigor you would expect from a High Avenger. Turns around and makes eye contact with you, and there's a look of concern and confusion upon making eye contact.
His name's Leosin, right?
No, that would be your mentor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, your mentor, who is not a part of the waiting.
Okay.
Now, Leosin is currently staying in the house of Olisera and Rold,
Okay, that's
along
right.
with Dornell Whitebeard. Whilst
Okay,
the two of them are in.
Sorry, do I know the name of the High Avenger?
The High Avenger is only known as the High Avenger.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh. I guess I'll address the High Avenger. High Avenger, I'm marching on Gelt Moore, although I may not look like him.
You're correct. You do not look like Geltmore.
My traveling group and I have encountered a chaotic tomb. You could say suffused in chaos, and it not only altered me, but another of my companions as well upon death. Not only that, oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
ahead.
No, keep
Okay.
going.
Not only that, the more pressing matter, I feel as if I've lost my touch to Tyr.
So, you claim that you are Geltmore, a human paladin, has been changed into a high elf. And not only that, but you have lost your connection to Tyr.
That is correct. It seems Tyr may be expected more, other than my 100 years I could offer as a human. But this I do not know what more he wants from me.
Draw your weapon.
Can I ask for a traditional whip?
We could say that you have your three-pronged whip at this point.
I'm just not proficient in it.
Yeah,
is
you are.
my thing. Oh, I thought you said it was going to take me time to get used to it.
No,
Oh,
this
cool.
one just has the caveat that it's a 3d4, but if you crit fail, the attack
Gotcha.
damage transfers to you.
Okay, cool. Then yes, I will grab my shield, my iconic shield, and my whip. What do you have in mind?
If you truly are Gelt, then this should seem all too familiar. As he
Oh.
brings up a shield and hammer and goes
I
into
recall.
an attack pose. Go
I
ahead and
recall this
Gelt
time we
and roll me an attack.
Yes, sir. 16.
You bring out your whip, and it is oddly balanced at first, but as you swing down the whip, it all clicks together, and you feel a strength and a surge. And as you strike the High Avenger, who is able to just barely get their shield up in time due to the speed of this new whip, you feel pulsate from that left hand. This dark energy spreads from your wrist into both sides, and the High Avenger lets out almost a roar of pain as you feel not a divine smite,
Fuck.
but a necrotic smite strike the High Avenger. What? Paladins! To me! And as soon as this there, you see as paladins flood into people that you have known, that you have seen fight, and suddenly Goat, you are surrounded as there's almost this crackle emanating from your left hand, this necrotic energy surging through you. And you feel that same cold grasp on you once again. What have you done?
I do not know what I have done. I swear I have not broken any of my oaths. I have not I have not forsaken Tyr. I have no idea what's happened to me. That's why I come to you, High Avenger.
Paladin, remove his regalia, and you feel just as they take your shield, your whip, your armor, and lay bare your blackened hand. You haven't broken your oaths, your tenets. Then explain that. The mark of Bane. And you see, as your hand is exposed, there's an audible
Oh no. I cannot explain this. Again, the most I can think is I did make a promise that I was unable to keep to a spirit in that chaotic suffused pyramid. They did speak to me upon leaving, saying that I was unable to fulfill my promise to them.
the High Avenger strides forward. As you are continue to be surrounded, you can feel the confusion, the disbelief, and the hostility growing from many of the paladins. Now acolytes have gathered. The whispers of a fallen paladin, of an oathbreaker, begin to sound out through the crowd. You see the High Avenger touch his own holy symbol, and in kind of a almost flash of light, there's this zone that emanates out from the High Avenger. Go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw, Gelt.
I'm not too good at that. Would you believe it? Oof. I think this is going to be a... That's an unnat 1. No, it's a saving throw, so I get a +2. So it's going to be a 4, actually.
Gonna be a 4. Okay. Okay. 4, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, make me a charisma saving throw.
a little bit better at that. Nat 20!
You feel a wave of divinity that you know from its very feel that it is the light of Tyr, and it turns you. You feel as if your hand is no longer a part of you as it reaches back and tries to run away. And as this second wave comes through, and the High Avenger says, "Do not lie to me. Whatever it is you are, you claim to be Geltmore, but you bear the mark of Bane. What
I
have you
swear-
done to Geltmore?"
I swear it. I am Geltmore. I have no idea where this curse of Bane has come from.
The High Avenger looks deep into your eyes, a righteous anger. For a second, it almost feels as if his silhouette is outlined by Tyr itself. The High Avenger brings up a hand as if to strike you down. And from the crowd there is a "Stop!" And as you look around to find the identity of the voice, you see a half-orc
Oh.
stride forward, one that you know well. Zern Zerkstill,
Zern.
the hammer himself. "I believe him. I believe that is Geltmore." The High Avenger looks to Zern. "And what right have you to speak for one who has broken their oath, even if I were to believe that this elf is actually Geltmore? Cannot possibly let him live and sully the name of Tyr. He must be brought down low in front of all the gods and the waiting itself." You can feel the conviction in the High Avenger. With the same power that reads the sermons to you, that leads prayers, the same power that was there when you made your oath is now just as strong, condemning you to your death.
Ugh.
Zern continues to walk forward. "It's true, I am not of the waiting, and I do not claim Tyr to be my god, but he still is a Marchion. I can still feel, I believe there is still goodness here. I believe he should have a chance to prove his worth." And Zern looks to you. And when your eyes meet, there's belief and devotion to these words. "I would offer a suggestion to allow Geltmore to redeem himself, to go through and do a great service, not just to Tyr, but to all the people of Flan. And there's a moment as Zern gathers himself. "I will take his place. Should he fail, you may take both his life and mine." The High Avenger seems stunned.
Zern, I cannot ask you to do that. But what is this task? I'm more than willing. I will not forsake Tyr. What can I do to prove myself?
The High Avenger, as Zern goes to speak, the High Avenger silences him. You've done a great many deeds, Zern. And it would go against Tyr to not allow you this chance at justice. Geltmore, on your feet. And you can feel now that this presence has left your left hand stops clawing to get away. And you feel a ability to reclaim part of your body. The necrotic energy seemingly fades as the minutes draw by. As you rise to your feet, you can see that there's mixed reactions from the waiting. Some of anger, some of confusion, some of relief. But everyone is hyper-fixated on this moment. If you are to atone, to make good on your oath of redemption, to continue to be part of the Merciful Sword, you must do as Tyr himself did. You must offer that which is tainted and cleanse it. This may begin your journey. And in the meantime, take Zern into the cells.
No.
As paladins go, and Zern gives them out freely. Zern takes one last look at you, Gelt, and says, I believe in you, Gelt. You're a good man. Or elf. You won't let me down.
I cannot repay you, Zern. But when I do complete this task, you do know there is repayment coming. And then more.
Not to mention of more, Zern looks to you and almost laughs to himself as they lead him deeper into the waiting.
Wasn't a play on words, just so you know.
Now it is you and the High Avenger. Come, Gelt.
Follow.
And you are led to the large scales at the front of the waiting. You have a decision to make. If Zern is willing to do this, then, and I believe you are Geltmore, then you have two choices. You may either offer up that which is tainted, or you may walk away from the waiting, never to return.
Never. You can take this arm.
You place your left hand onto the scales. The High Avenger calls and brings a long sword to his hand. Tyr's justice be served. And brings the sword down onto your left hand. And in one clean cut, your left hand is removed. As you scream out, this time the pain is blinding, but there is no Tyr awaiting on the other side of the pain.
No.
There is no divine light. There is no comfort. As you begin to feel yourself bleed and bleed and bleed until there is only darkness that is left. And in that darkness, you see a familiar but unpleasant face. That of the adventurer you saw. But now they return to their full glory. A human Your same build, your same look, but with white hair and red eyes. And on their chest, the symbol of Bane. I told you to bring my body out of there. You would think a paladin of Tyr would do better. Look at you now. Verge of death. As the ghost laughs at you, and this kind of dark space in between both life and death.
As if I didn't make an effort to get you out of there.
You left me in there. My body's crushed. I'll never be able to join Bane. Join my brethren. But
And
I
I'm
can't
sorry for
ruin
you.
you.
You may try, but I will pray for you.
Well, we'll see about that. If you live long enough. And as your eyes kind of meet, one man of Tyr, the other of Bane. You wake up. 1 month later.
Oh my.
Damn.
Oh no.
Looking down. Gout, you currently only have one right hand.
Oh, thank God. I was worried I had two.
Until you redeem yourself.
I'm upset.
You cannot use a shield and a weapon. Only one or the other.
Okay, yeah. And damn, my shield arm is my left arm too.
Indeed it is. For the time being, you must rely on your right arm and the strength of that right arm to see you through.
Already.
As Gelt is recovering in the waiting, learning of the events that took place afterwards, including a gentle repose that is placed on Gelt's left hand, stopping it from deteriorating on the off chance that you redeem yourself with Tyr. It's a horrifying sight seeing your own left hand in a glass case, still blackened. And you can't shake that same chill that goes up your spine. But at the very least, Gelt can rest assured that he is willing to die for what he believes in. The rest of you, during this time period, during this kind of month off, the rumors begin to come in of black shadows streaking across I believe that's the Flan path. From your various factions, from the Emerald Enclave, you hear about an increase in undead. A number of will-o-wisps coming out in startling numbers from the Zenith Rim. You hear of trade routes and valuable goods being raided. These stories continue on and on. Until one day, you all receive a invitation to the Velvet Doublet from a seemingly familiar face. One dwarven fellow by the name of Rolk.
Well, I suppose it's time to don the cloaks.
I suppose
it's
so.
time. Didn't figure we'd be going back to the doublet so soon, but all right.
Is
And
Gelt back staying with us yet, or is he still
this
at the
is
waiting at this
this
time?
is Gelt, you have returned after coming to after this month of, well, one couldn't quite call it rest.
I can't fucking sleep now. God damn it.
Yes, which is even more worrying. You are allowed to return to Lost and Found. Your great service, well, that's up to Tyr and Tyr alone.
Right.
All right. Well, let's all make our way over. Can the velvet doublet accommodate my size?
The Velvet Doublet? Yeah, it can definitely
Okay,
accommodate your size.
cool. Would rather not have to use a 8-hour draft for one meeting. Cool. Well, let's all make our way then.
Sounds like a plan.
You all make your way to the Velvet Doublet. The new capes look fantastic. It has been a extreme month for many of you. Two of you have willfully given over large chunks of your body. Uh, two more of you have had your entire race, your entire physical body makeup changed. Two of you have changed sizes. It's almost Flan is almost an uneasy place for the Lost and Found during this month. No adventures to be had, no place to go, only dealing with yourselves in this new kind of reality that you all face. Especially hearing of what happened to Gelt in his entire month asleep. Asleep for an elf, which you, Siren, of course, know is completely unnatural. Having Gelt back is comforting for these four misfits in a very unfitting world. But as you enter into the Velvet Doublet, it all fades away. It is still a fine place, full of soft chairs, and really the only thing darker and richer than the wood that the tables are made of is the wine that is being served. While you see there are a number of incredibly well-dressed individuals at the main portion of that long table that Alder and Rain are so familiar with, has reserved seating with a placard card on it that says The Lost and Found. And sitting at the head of the table is a brown-haired dwarf. One that you all saved in a previous adventure in your last foray into the Twilight Marsh, named Rolk. Although he's looking far nicer now that he's had a chance to groom, shave in some places. He doesn't do the full beard, keeps like the chin open, does like the big mustache to the chops. A real Clayton, if for those who get that reference, I think it's only going to be Kaya.
I'm sorry, I totally missed it.
Well, too late now. We're still moving forward. He sees you all and motions you all over, and already you can see that it's the full thing. I mean, huge things of chicken, fowl, pheasant, duck, like many different vegetables, all the sides. I mean, it's a feast hall lined end to end. Drinks already being poured, dark, rich wine. Zrok waves you all down.
See you again, Rolk. And thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for taking the invitation. Boy, they weren't kidding. I'd heard rumors that you all had some cosmetic changes, but boy, you're making the dwarf family real proud. You know, it's hard enough not having a beard, but I think being the biggest dwarf that ever was might make up for that.
Yeah, I'm really rolling with it, but makes things a little complicated when it comes to I don't know, existing in society, but worth it in the long run, I think. As he takes what I assume is larger seat.
It's a bench.
Yep, there we go, perfect.
He turns to you, older. You're a cat.
Yes, he is.
In short words, yeah, that is definitely the biggest change about me so far.
Calls a spade this one.
That I do. Huh? You're dwarf size now. Did he take all of your height? Is that how that happens?
You know, that your guess is as good as mine.
You're an elf now.
Seems Tyr has called more than my tiny human life could offer previously.
Huh?
Ah,
Gonna mark
I
that
like
one
that.
down as don't worship Tyr will turn you into an elf. Quite like what's going on right here.
If you're journeying around with us for a little bit, I'm sure we could find something new for you too, if you really want.
You know, after being captive of one dragon, I've got no big hankering for what the rest of it is you guys all do. I'm much happier doing business with the Merchant Guild of Flan, if you have to ask.
very nice. It seems that business has been going well.
Incredibly well. Well, up until this last week or so. But
Yeah.
business or pleasure first? Which one?
Let's tuck in real quick. I'm starving. I'm almost always starving now.
Oh, well, all right, good. Glad that we got our priorities straight.
As
What
yeah,
do you
Rain.
guys all be drinking?
I mean, if there's wine flowing, Rain will not like. If there's something in front of him, he's just not going to question it. So he's drinking wine tonight.
Hey, could you get the? You see it? Thank you. And they, instead of bringing a glass for you, Rain, they just bring pretty much this whole bottle with them. It's like the Italian style ones where we got like the little woodwork on the outside and everything. And well, what about the rest of you? Y'all taking fallen suits? I mean, I already got it ordered for you, so I mean, the first one, be rude not to.
Yeah, I'll get some. I'll get some ale.
Smell? Okay.
I'll ale as well.
All right. What about you? Do cats drink?
I do drink still. Although I will say that I don't know. I don't have much of a parched tongue these days. I still start to show a bit of the centipede.
Not to alarm you, but there's a bug in your mouth.
Oh,
No, it
I'm
has a
quite
name.
aware.
It has a name, sir.
Taste doesn't do too much for me these days, but go ahead and give me something hard, and I'll hang around just fine.
Okay. Well, okay. So for our wine drinkers, what you have in front of you is called blood wine. Is a dark red liquid of exquisite make. While it seems dark and what you would expect to be incredibly dry, is actually incredibly full-bodied and very sweet. It actually has a very strong presence of, would you believe, raisins to it.
I would.
Um, for those of us who are doing ale, where did my ales go? Ales. Here it is. Here's my ales. So, for those of us who are choosing ales, because I'm constantly looking for new fun ways to add very specific things to it, you are having Halfling's Best. It is
Okay.
black as ink, but sweet and fruity. It comes directly from the Dale Lands
Mm.
and is said to be made by hobbits and well, not hobbits, halflings. Halflings for halflings only, and typically very difficult to get out of the Dale Lands. Incredibly expensive. And for you, Alder, since you asked for strong, strong is indeed what you're gonna get. So they bring out what is called cherry fire.
Perfect.
Yeah.
As you all sit and have drinks, everybody go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm guessing I don't get that. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
15.
14.
15.
15, 14,
16.
16. Yeah.
15 as well.
Who rolled 14?
I did. Alder.
Everybody else, you're feeling pretty good. Alder, unsurprisingly, the cherry fire hits harder than shits, even without your normal taste buds. Well, it reminds you of the Genasi you once were, because goddamn it does put a fire in you. So, yeah, you go from having a pleasant night to Alder is drunk.
Alder, as it's first hitting him and drinking, will laugh and say out loud in Dwarvish, "Bottoms up."
Raid is watching you. You can tell when you're getting drunk now. All right. But yeah, Rain probably eats like a whole chicken to himself, by the way.
That is understandable, considering, depending on the size of the chicken, you can just fit the whole thing in your mouth.
I love being big. Like Rain is it is one of the few times that his body has changed and he hasn't been like totally wrecked.
As you guys
okay.
begin eating the many different types of bird, having drinks, having a well, for some of you, it's rolling right on with the good times. For some of you, a finery and exquisiteness that is almost a complete and foreign concept to you, to have all of this and to not have to pay for any of it. You start thinking about what this must cost, and you know that you guys could probably afford it, you just wouldn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, now that we've had the pleasure part of it, I suppose it's time to get down to business.
Absolutely.
Alright, well, you guys are an adventuring guild, and so I've gotten an adventure for you. One that's gonna make you, me, and really all of Flan considerably more rich.
Well, shit. You like that?
We're listening. Continue, friend.
Well, I was real impressed with the whole, slaying a dragon in front of me and rescuing just about everybody, minus that one halfling feller. Rest in peace and all that.
Indeed.
But, well, I'm gonna need you to go back into there.
Something's
Can't
happening
say
in the
that's-
marsh again.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, indeed. So, I took your advice and set up some roots here in Flan and joined the Merchants Guild, and, well, it's been going pretty good. Mm, well, unfortunately, I've had a bit of property stolen from me. It's a box about this big. It's got the Merchants Guild symbol on it. It's a gold coin embossed with an axe, a hammer, and a pair of forged tongs. Uh, Normally, I would just think it's just regular thievery. But, well, and he leans in kind of close. There's been some rumors of what it might be, and I think us specifically know exactly, probably who took that. About a big old mean ass lizard who's, looking into, you know, taking valuable goods from good hard-working people to make a hoard.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so, what I've been hearing from tales, across Flan's path is, well, to some people he's known as, Velvet, but to other people he's known as the Rostragale. I fucking hate the draconic language. I just think it's the meanest thing ever. I can never pronounce it right. The
It's a little tough tongue.
Rostragale. Is that a hold on? And he pulls out a little book and writes it down. So to spell this is THROSTULGRAEL.
Hmm.
Alder would also like to read that back to him in Draconic.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? It's the worst language ever, if you ask me.
That's very complicated, I suppose, if you don't have a tongue that can move like a lizard.
Yep, nope. I mean, I figured it'd be harder with your big tongue now.
That's why I'm not trying to say it.
That's real smart. If I could not say it, I would. So, what I'd like from you as a guild is to recover that box. Please don't open it. It's well, it's real important, and it's protected both by magical and non-magical means. But I'd be real upset if you did that.
Could I
Oh.
just do a cursory insight on that one?
Go ahead.
13.
You get the sense it's personal, more than just a merchant's guild box. There's a certain amount of direness to it, even with his kind of good-humored self. So, for payment, of course, from us being the merchant guild, I'd be willing to offer you 700 gold pieces, payable upon the safe return of the stolen lockbox and its contents. Would that be acceptable to you all?
Eel.
All right, that was much easier. I've been told that adventurers guilds strive hard bargains, but that seemed pretty easy. Okay.
Man, that's a good deal. That's a whole lot of money to give us to go get you a box back.
Raid puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Yep, it is a very good amount of money."
All right. Well, good. So I've got some insights for you.
All right.
So you know how we made some friends with the local lizard folk.
Indeed. Bogclaw and his clans.
Yeah, the king's been real nice, been helping out a lot. So apparently, things haven't been going too great for them since we all left. That old velvet there was not very happy to find out what did happen to his son.
Not surprising.
However, he's a tough little bastard, and he keeps making it through. So that's where I'd start. I've heard. Now this is just only things that I've heard. I can't say I've ever been there except for as like a prisoner, but I've been told that where Velvet likes to hang out is a place called the Hall of the Black Bull. Alder, go ahead and you're the one that keeps the tabs on the Moonsea Colts book, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me a history with advantage.
Ooh, nice. And we do got the history proficiency these days.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We rolled very well. We're crit fishing now. Okay, so that'll be a 25.
A 25. It is indeed. There is a rather lengthy section dedicated to the cult of the Black Bull. It was a cult of slavers that worshipped a bull-headed demon in the region that is now called the Twilight Marsh over 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
In addition to all that sweet information, there's also a rough map of the complex as it existed 1,000 years ago.
Well, that's useful.
Hmm. And you
Yeah,
know that
that's
that is in the Moonsea Colts. So when the time is right, we'll just be able to give that to you guys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with the area. I've certainly studied up. I believe I have some things that our group might actually be able to use to help us get through it.
This
Oh,
is why we hand you all the books. Oh, love you, Alder.
I mean, information's all there. I just know where to look.
oh, well, that's real useful. I guess it's true what they say. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back.
To be fair, I died before I became before I became the cat, and then came back as this. But getting in the way of good sayings there. I'm sorry.
I really feel like, if anything, that just really kind of puts the whole thing together, makes it more true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true, true.
But anyways, I was pretty sure that you would accept this deal, so I already sent word ahead over to Romson Gal over at the Crossing Inn. So he'll be expecting you if you want to stop there on your way over to see the king and everything.
Oh, Romson's gonna have a fit when he sees us. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, no, I bet he is. You know, actually, I think he might understand.
No, of anybody, he will
Yeah.
be probably the first to instantly recognize us. By throw a fit, I mean he will have a conniption unless we tell him the entire story front to back in full detail. Oh,
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
oh, I love that fellow. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that they'll be expecting us.
Yeah, positively. Um, so you know, good luck on the whole thing. Definitely enjoy this meal, in case, the worst happens. So you might as well have, like, one of the best meals in all of Flan. That'd be nice. Um,
Yeah, we appreciate it for sure.
Good
That's
of you.
a good way to start off an adventure. Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. I've heard that, Velvet likes to take lots of trips during the day and then go slumber at night. Can't confirm because I don't know what the fuck he likes to do, and I don't want to go find out. But that's why you guys are there. So hopefully you could just sneak in and take all of his shit and then get right out. Unfortunately, you're probably gonna have to fight him. But maybe it could possibly work. But you know what?
So
If anybody can do it, it's you guys.
Well, thank you, Rolk. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Not that we doubt ourselves or anything, but anytime you have to deal with or anytime you have to deal with something like Velvet, it's you take a second to think about it. So this will be an interesting one, but well worth it, I think.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a story for the bards to sing.
I'll have to make sure to take notes.
Yeah, well, all right. I guess the only thing left is to ask you if you all want another round.
And Rain says yes, absolutely. Oh yeah.
All right, way to go, big fella. So as you all have a very fine evening at the the velvet doublets. You Rourke already has people send over bright and early the next day. You get an official contract from the Merchant Guild of Flan, outlining what you have discussed to retrieve for the Merchant Guild a lockbox with their seal on it to the sum of 700 gold pieces upon completion.
Which that is our largest contract we've made at this point, correct?
Lila looks at her notes. Yes, that would be the most that you've been offered as the job itself.
Oh, right. We make quite a bit more from spoils, but yes, job-wise, that's what I meant. Thank you, Lila.
You're very welcome. It's what you paid me for.
Exactly.
Goes back to her books. So, lost and found. There is not particularly a time frame on this one. You can leave at your pleasure. It's really quite up to you. However, during this time period, each of your factions does reach out. For Siren, Saranola the Whisperer sends you a message through your tree, your personal tree, and confirms that there have been an excessive number of will-o-wisps, and that you are being sent a device. The device looks very much like a large iron lantern engraved with runes. When activated, one will-o-wisp within 5 feet of the device must succeed on a DC 20 dexterity saving throw or be drawn into the device. While so contained, the imprisoned creature may use an action to attempt another dexterity saving throw, freeing itself from the device if successful. At the beginning of each round, the device contains a will-o-wisp. Arcs of lightning lash out at all creatures within 60 feet of it. The device has a +9 bonus to attack rolls and deals 2d8 lightning damage on a hit. As an action, a creature may tune the occupied device. If so, the device does not emit any more of this lightning, because your job will be to capture some of these will-o-wisps.
Okay. Just some, or is there a target number here? Or?
At the very least one.
Okay.
So I will send you, I will post the device. It's going to take some finagling to get it done, so it doesn't show you guys a bunch of my notes. From the Zenitrim, your first mission as Vipers. Of course, unsurprisingly, the Zenitrim are already aware of Velvet's current activities to the east of Flan. In the supposedly the horde of Velvet, there is a valuable cargo of a set of trade maps for the Moonsea region that were lost in one of the raids caused by Velvet. It is your job to retrieve said maps back for the Zenitrim. Normally, they would send maybe a wolf, or maybe a wolf and some fangs. However, dragons are an entirely different beast, and it'd be a great way to get your guys' teeth sank into something worthy of some vipers.
Absolutely. Need something to test out Gigi on for sure.
And let me know again specifically what kind of information are we getting back?
They're trade maps of the Moonsea region.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then finally, Gelt, you are visited by a familiar face from the Order of the Gauntlet, Yavilla, also known as the Sword of Tyr. Yavilla, who very much took Zern's side on this. You've had a difficult relationship with the Church of Tyr lately. Half of your fellow paladins and followers believe you, the other half do not. With a few kind of stuck in the middle. It's an awkward time and place to be. You're kind of a taboo subject right now. However, Yavilla very much is on your side. You've noticed that those who are members of the Order of the Gauntlet seem to be more concerned with your pursuits of justice rather than what appears to be happening to you. You are informed that during a mass prison break from Grimshackle Jail, a number of prisoners have escaped. Some have been captured, some have been killed, and others remain free. It is rumored that a particularly vile prisoner named, and you're going to want to write this down, Euston, Yusten, Karas, Karas, Euston Karas, a drow assassin, has fled into the Twilight Marsh.
Isn't drow derogatory?
Not
No.
in this campaign setting.
Okay.
Has fled into the Twilight Marsh. You are to capture the prisoner and return them to town of Flan to face justice.
Justice for Justin.
I was just like, God damn it, get out of here, Nick.
Yavilla hopes that... hoping that this might at least ease some of the tensions, but that they have no plans on stopping your ascension into the Order of the Gauntlets. So, Gelt, this is going to count as a secret mission for you.
Mm-hmm.
And upon completion, this will grant you your next rank of White Hawk.
Cool.
Good job, buddy.
It's about time. I've been waiting for
Good
one.
stuff.
This is my first secret mission, right?
Indeed,
Yeah.
this is your first secret mission.
Okay.
And
Wait,
it
It's
very...
the first secret mission, right?
Uh-huh. This is you've had enough renown points to rank up. What you've been missing is the secret mission part. Especially since right now, the things are tight with or tense with the Church of Tyr. This is a secret mission on multiple levels for you.
Okay.
So, upon completion, for you, Jacoby, as of right now, since you took the handoff, you do not have access to your paladin powers.
No.
Had you kept the hands, you would have been able to access those powers, but as an Oathbreaker paladin.
No, thank you.
So, you will still maintain all of your martial prowess, all of your goodness, for the time being. The way I interpret that, since you are still martially adept in all of that good stuff, you may use, for the time being, because there's almost no big changes to it, you can still use Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
Because that's magic that's not given by Tyr.
Cool.
And you count, for the time being, as a level 6 champion fighter.
Let me pull those stats up. Cool. Interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the most basic of the fighters. So if you're kind of stripping him down to his basic
Into
martial
justice
prowess,
stuff.
that makes perfect sense.
At least I'm not an overly buff fucking level 1.
That's the good news.
Your hit dice aren't going to change because it's also D10s. The champion really, you're going to have the same number of attacks. You're just not going to get all of your sweet pally stuff that you normally would.
Yeah. So am I to ignore these ability score improvements then?
Yes.
Okay.
Your ability scores, everything is the
Yeah,
same.
makes
It's just your subclass is going to be there. So really, you crit on a 19 and a 20, I believe.
Okay, cool.
You still have the same number of attacks. You have action surge and second wind.
Thank you. I was just about
I
to
was
ask.
gonna say those are the big ones.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Those are the big ones. So for the
Definitely a
time
functional
being,
character.
since you are now just a martial character, Plus, I have I will not lie. What is going to happen in this one is incredibly difficult, and you're gonna need all the help you can get.
Yeah.
So, this is where we're gonna take a short-ish break to restock on drinks and all that stuff. If there's
Yeah.
any RP that wants to be happen before you guys set out on your adventure, this can also happen during said break. I'm
I
going
do
to.
have a thing.
I'm gonna go take.
Does
a
it
smoke.
require the DM?
I'm gonna talk to Older about the book.
Absolutely. You guys go ahead
ask
and,
you.
and start having that. I'm gonna grab some things and I will be back. So feel free. So we're not gonna put the Discord on, hey, or the stream on, hey, just chatting, but I'm gonna be away
Okay.
for like 2 minutes.
Okie dokie.
All right, cool. And break.
So probably when we've returned to the Lost and Found, Siren will find you collecting your things in your room or whatever.
I would just be about the study, just
Okay.
putting everything together. At this point, Alder is just going over his spell book, just preparing and getting things ready before they head out.
She knocks on the door and says, "Do you have a moment?"
Oh yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
She looks behind her to see if there's anyone around and then closes the door. And says, I have something I need to speak to you about. I feel like you would understand better than most. I'll just show you. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out the book and says, in the pyramid, I had a lapse of judgment. I was promised knowledge and power by what resides in this book, which I suspect to have to do with the Red Wizards, as I recovered this from the one we've killed twice now. And
So,
r-
did you
Ring.
pick up
Hmm.
spell book or?
it's not any, as far as I understand, not a spell book, but perhaps you would be capable of unlocking its potential. I would ask that you be terribly careful. It can't be an entirely good thing. And to be frank, with what limited knowledge of the Wizards of Thay I have, I suspect this may be a direct channel to the leader.
Well, what I recall, I believe I took a look at this thing and didn't see much of anything written in it. Or saying that
Did
saw
you look at
something.
it? I thought I picked it up right away and then stashed it.
I believe I looked at it. I might have looked at it first, and I just
We'll
didn't
have
see
to
anything.
double check that with Dom.
Hmm.
But I think I picked that up right away. Did I not?
For the book?
Yeah, I thought I scooped it before anyone
I
else did.
thought Alder looked at it first. Either passed, I think might have passed or failed something.
No,
So I didn't see
that would be
anything
Siren. Siren looked at it first and then failed a wisdom saving throw. And then tucked that one away without telling anybody that she had it. And then when you looked for around the body, you did not find a spell book on Rorith or kind of around the lab. You at the time chalked most of that up to the damage Siren did in that room during the fight.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for clarifying on that.
Absolutely, I get it.
Okay.
Feels like a long time ago.
It almost does. Well, righty. Well, I didn't notice anything, so I'm glad you found something. But I mean, what?
Yes, again, it was a lapse of judgment. I hid it from all of you, and I should know better by now than to not trust all of you with something like
Sound-
this. But
Yeah. Well, appreciate you coming forward to me. It like something's been happening, or you're getting some sort of energy from it. Do you mind telling me exactly what's giving you some trouble before I take a look here?
Um, as soon as I opened it, I made contact with some eyes staring back at me, and as I said, it seemed to be an open channel to this individual who I fear may be the leader of the Red Wizards, which um, would be uh, who is no doubt a terrible individual, but perhaps a resource you would be more capable of managing than myself.
Well, definitely look over it. Obviously, should be a little cautious on this one. Have you heard anything or had any contact with this individual?
I have not opened it since, for I fear that I'm not capable of resisting whatever is in there. It's uh, it's not my normal self to just hide something like that, so I would feel more comfortable leaving it to you, and I would be more than happy to sit with you while you commune or
Yeah.
whatever.
Put over here on the desk. Let me get my stuff together and we can take a look at this. And I'll go ahead and ritual cast Identify on the book and see what we get.
Cast Identify. As you cast Identify on it, you never complete the Identify. Every time you get about halfway through it, it's like the magic gets ripped away from you. So you
Huh.
try a second time. And then a third. And every time, as soon as you get the magic really starting to flow, before the spell can even be cast, it's like it gets cut off. And after about the third time, you can tell that something is stopping you from identifying what this is.
The strangest thing. I can't get a read on it. It's almost like the book is working against me. Like it won't let me actually figure out what it is or what's inside it. Something or something is not letting me finish what I'm doing, basically.
If it's resisting you, I imagine it's quite a powerful effect. Um, do you think we should involve the others before we continue?
That'd be a bad idea to let everyone know. I can only think of one other thing to try, but I don't know. It might just do the same thing, but well, I did have this one studied up before I changed everything out, so let's maybe give this a shot and see if it works any different. And I did have Dispel Magic prepared, so I will try that and see if I get a similar effect.
Roll me a d20 and add your intelligence modifier to it.
That's a 12.
12? Yeah, you put it on it and you try to dispel the magic, like you did with the portal in the Dark Pyramid of Sorcerer's Isle, and as you go through, it's like the magic inside the book expands, and you just don't have enough juice for it. And as you put your hand over, the pages flick through, and as they go in a fast kind of you remember how like you could draw a bunch of little doodles, and then if you flip the bottom of the pages real fast, it would look like it was moving?
Yeah, flip book.
Yeah, like a flip book. Like a terrible flip book. You see two green-lit eyes pierce from it. And you hear, go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw, Alder.
Boy.
Good thing you're decent at those as a wizard.
Wizard.
So where's that? I used FYI. I did finally use my inspiration on this roll here because I rolled some doo doo, but that is an unnat 20.
An unnat 20. You hear in your mind, a wizard. Interesting. I could teach you many things, older Chiskin. Many things. And you hear that whisper, that soft, gentle whisper in your mind. But you're able to maintain your faculties and you do not feel that same pull that Siren had.
Alder will, as soon as he hears that and comes to his senses, if it's not already, will shut the book. Grab and just shut the book and just say, "Okay, I think I saw what you were talking about. Some not good stuff coming out of this one, and I don't know what it is, but I just don't have enough juice to get through to it. I might be best to tell everyone, but what it's worth right now, Siren, I don't think it's really worth playing around with this book.
Although, that's fine. I understand. Thank you for your help.
Problem. I mean, I don't know if you want to take a look around. We might be able to find someone that's a little bit. Well, I mean, I could maybe look for some books or some contacts at the library to see if we can get some more info. But now there's clearly a whole lot of power in this thing, and I need a little bit more to confidently take this thing on. Otherwise, I don't know. The more we pry with it, the more a chance for whoever's on the other line, I assume, to make some contact with us. So that at your own risk, really.
You're right. I think I've just been a little too desperate for more strength lately. But you're right. We should be careful.
Like I said, though, I mean, maybe afterwards when we get back, I can check around the library, see if I can find something or someone who might know something about it.
Right.
So,
Well, keep me updated. Happy to help however I can.
thank you,
If you
bro.
ever need more help with dispelling or something, maybe I can do that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's about what I can do for now. And I appreciate the offer on that one. Just careful with it. I don't think I really need to tell you twice.
Perhaps we should just wrap this up and put it in the safe.
Yeah, we could do that. I might want to put it away from some of my other stuff. Just to be cautionary there, but
Sure.
I mean, if you feel safer not having it on your person, I get that. Definitely want to lock it up somewhere, probably somewhere a little bit away from everything. And I mean, you can tell the group.
At least until we have a idea how we could possibly use it in our favor.
Yeah.
No point in lugging it around, only an opportunity to lose it. So, let's keep it safe here. Keep it secret, keep it safe.
Alrighty.
But
we'll just write that on the list.
I will inform Lila and the others as to the nature of this particular item.
I would maybe tell them not to poke around with it.
Right. Leave it in a back corner and
Tell him what you need to, but just make sure that prying eyes aren't necessarily in the look at that.
Right. So, yeah. Siren leaves to go do that.
Okay. So, where exactly are you putting this bad boy?
I'm gonna wrap it in my old, like, destroyed cloak, and put it in like the very back right corner of the safe, and probably even write a note saying Siren has asked you not to touch this.
That's such a great way to word that. That's so Siren.
Yeah.
Lila, as you're doing this, should I put this in our official registry one book?
Yes, I think everybody who needs to know will know what that is by looking at it.
One book. Okay. And alright, I'll put that. It is locked away in your safe currently, next to a stack of exactly 2,840 gold pieces. Those are the two things,
That is-
along with your official documentation saying that you own the house, taxes paid, and that you can officially operate in Flan as an adventuring guild.
God,
That
It always
is
feels so
all the
good to
things.
hear that
so
number.
fucking good. Man.
I feel like every time any of us sees all of that, we just tear up, like in
Yeah.
character.
So proud of us.
Can't believe how far we come.
Yeah.
Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we come. And I believe this book is coming to an end.
Oh god.
Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend that there's nothing wrong with the book. Okay.
Just a perfectly normal book that Siren has asked everyone to not touch.
This book is fine. It's fine. Okie dokie. So the book
Um.
is successfully sealed away in the vaults.
Mhm. If it's possible, Rain, or as another RP thing. Sorry if we're moving on from that
Oh
one.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Got it. Rain would like to. It probably would have technically happened slightly before this too, but he would have liked to have been the one helping Gelt get back into fighting shape.
Yeah,
Aw, thank
absolutely.
Which is basically a Rocky montage of you beating me with a whip.
That's literally what's gonna happen.
Actually, you during this, so once you come to from your coma, basically, and incredible blood loss at the same time. Not only does Rain help you, but another dwarf by the name of Martin Foss, who is another one-armed adventurer.
Oh wow!
A dwarf and a member of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Fantastic.
Good guy.
Hey.
Yeah, it's about time that you guys met Martin Foss. You also go up against Martin Foss's daughter, and
Ooh.
her name
Mark
is...
Foss has one of the books that are checked out, if I remember right.
That
I
is
thought so.
correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah,
Absolutely
that's
correct.
that's where I remember that. God damn it. Okay,
Yeah, I knew I knew the name.
it's in my
Verifoss.
notes. One few things. Vera.
Verifoss.
Yes, Verifoss, who, go ahead, Gelt, roll me an athletics check, a dexterity check, and a constitution saving throw.
Okay. The first one was a dexterity check. You said.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's gonna be 18. And what was the second check?
So first one's athletics, then is,
Athletics is.
so it's athletics, acrobatics, constitution saving throw.
Okay,
so
and then first one, yeah, athletics was an 18. Acrobatics will be 18. And then what was the save that I had to make?
Constitution.
Constitution. Okay. 19.
19.
Dang.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know, right?
it is a very, very good fight between you and Vera. Very good. But
Is that 9? No, never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
so during your training, Martin Foss kind of helps you with dealing with the loss of losing one of your limbs. For you, it's a hand. For him, it was an arm. As you're going through, you've got Rain to be pretty much a big old practice dummy. Eventually, you need someone who is not a large person to go up against. What one might say a more normal combatant. While Martin doesn't do a lot of fighting nowadays, Vera does plenty of fighting. So you guys have that is what we use for a sparring session. Vera, with her strength dexterity, rolled without any of her modifiers a 16, an 18, and a natural 20.
Ooh, wow, that is a good fight.
So it's an incredible back and forth. Without the shield, your strikes are much faster. There's some points where she struggles to keep up with the sheer speed. However, she is also a dwarven lass at heart, and and has spent almost every single day of her entire life training under her father. So you meet the ground at the end of it. She typically uses a shield and a hammer. So it's kind of a blunt versus sharp sort of fight. But during this time period, you do get shaped up during the kind of amorphous time. By the time you guys are getting ready to begin your journey to the Twilight Marsh, it is deep fall beginning to approach winter. The temperature has dropped significantly in the Moonsea region. All of the trees from the quivering forest into the city out, and even on clear days being able to see all the way across almost to Hillsong, you can see that the world is now vibrant shades of deep reds and oranges, browns, and the beginnings of some mornings there's even the briefest bit of snow in some places. Any other business to attend to?
With that description specifically, we should probably get some winter clothes, like actual legitimate cold weather stuff, if there's potentially like snow weather at this point.
I mean, before I do that, I would ask, how does Alder's fur feel in the middle of this? Like, does he really need a whole lot, or is he feeling cozy?
You never had a big problem with the cold as a fire genasi? You've done plenty of Flan winters, and while, yes, at times they can be rough, they're never, I mean, you've heard of 10 Towns and Icewind Dale, stories of the end of the earth and the winters they endure there. So, not nearly as bad as that. Switching over to the Tabaxi body, as far as right now, I mean, you're feeling perfectly content. It's a little weird, just having the feeling of so much hair all across your body, but it's not fire resistance, but it does keep you warm.
Alrighty. Good to know. Alder might bring just an extra shawl, but otherwise he's feeling okay about himself.
With your regular clothing and your now lost and found billowing cloaks, Alder feels pretty comfortable in this weather. In a full-blown blizzard or such, Alder might be in some trouble, but barring extreme weather, late fall, early winter is, if anything, just about right.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so should the rest of us, like, with that, I'm just basing off the description you gave us, we should be worried, right? And actually get stuff.
It depends on how uncomfortable you want to be. You are going to be trekking through a swamp, so
Oh, fuck yeah, it's gonna be nasty. Yeah, Rain definitely wants some cold clothes.
Yeah, yeah, Siren does too.
Alder, let's get you some too. You've got that fair elven skin now.
go.
Or not Alder. God damn it,
Gel.
Gil.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
this-
big brain,
oh,
this big brain moves slower now.
It's all good. Yeah, no, I definitely need it, so let's go.
We can get that from Lila, right? Or from Lila's wife, excuse me.
Yeah.
You are indeed able to get that. I mean, it doesn't cost much to get. I mean, you all tell me, what do your winter clothes look like?
Um,
Hmm.
Rain has a. It's kind of like a he's still not rocking like full sleeves because it's just so not his style, especially when he's fighting and stuff. But it's like a 3/4 sleeve kind of deal for like a coat that's very heavily padded and has a big kind of like fur lining around the neck. So he's got that kind of like slightly classic barbarian look to him right now. And it probably also, instead of like full pants, is more kind of like that battle skirt kind of looking thing.
Kilt.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, as he's probably looking more dwarvish than he ever has now.
What did we
Um,
decide our cloak color was going to be?
There's green.
green.
We've got the red accents with the with our nice noodle boy on it.
Christmas time, baby. So I guess Gelt would have commissioned Lila's wife to extend the I guess, the cloak. It also includes a similar hood to what Rain has as well. On top of that, over his armor instead of under his armor is going to be wool. It's going to be actually a thin layer of white wool, and on the inside layer it's going to be hemp, which is also going to be all white.
All white, everything.
Oh wait, it's clean, baby.
That
I'm gonna
pure
have to
blood.
wait. Who has Presto?
Ya boy.
I'm gonna need you a lot.
Yeah, I know you are. I see. Rain sees that and he's just like, oh boy. And you just see him snapping his fingers and making things with Presto like he's practicing.
You just all have just flashbacks of the last half year, or at this point getting closer to 8 months, and all just the various viscera, ichor, slime, acid, fire, chaos stuff. The list goes on and on as you each have your own unique flashbacks of the different ways you've been covered in liquids that are not your own, and liquids that are your own.
That's right. You need a
Mhm.
canvas to display your art, Rain.
What are you seeing?
Gross.
Probably gonna do dark leather coat and pants that'll go under my wooden armor and lined with fur with like red fur as kind of the outer lining. So it's yeah, that's about it.
Okie. And Alder, you just gonna rock what you got?
Feeling confident
Actually,
with what I got.
Alder, you needed new clothes anyways because yours got absolutely decimated in your last adventure. So what is Alder currently wearing besides just the cloak? Was it
Yeah,
just
so-
the... Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so what I was going for that I wanted to do is I definitely want to just go with kind of like the shawl look on top of him. So he would just have like plain black trousers, and then he would also have a shawl that he is lengthy, a little on the light side, and almost has like kind of like the poncho look with it. So like
Kind of like
kinda
adult
going out-
Sasuke?
Exactly, kind of going down diagonally, goes over the torso and like most of the arms as well. And then like as far as just like the color palette, like for lack of better terms, almost think like the old school like Coyotes colors, like so black, but then with kind of that like green trim and some purple.
I am looking
on
at a
top of it.
classic Coyotes jersey right now that I have kept for the last 20 years.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's old school Phoenix pride.
Absolutely. So I was kind of thinking like mainly that green with a bit of like purple trim, kind of going across the edges of the shawl as well.
Boy, if the Phoenix Coyotes need a D&D mascot, it's you, buddy.
Literally, though, literally. And then, of course, he has the green cow on top of that as well for the lost and found now.
And the wizard hat. Can't forget the hat.
Yes, can't forget the hat. Can't forget the hat.
Go ahead and everybody mark off 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
you
Really quickly,
check?
Dom.
I could make that hydrophobic as well.
Hydrophobic and all of that.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
If you want it to be hydrophobic, make it in 10 gold pieces. You get everything done. So
Since we're going to the swamp, I would highly recommend that.
Yep, I'm taking off 10.
So, Dom, did the church, or not the church, did the waiting give me back all of my regalia?
you have your things, yes.
Even my symbol of tear?
Currently, no.
Well, they didn't give it. It's mine!
No, you receive all of your things, but since your symbol of tear was on your breastplate, when you receive that back, it has been scratched off.
It's. Ooh. Ooh, I never forsake him. Why'd they do that? Other than that, I want to make alterations.
I'll
to
let
my-
you see if you could get in the mindset of what it must be like to be on the opposite side. From Gelt's perspective, I totally get it. From the waiting side of things, a paladin that people haven't seen in days who says that they've
Yeah.
changed races, who's rocking a black hand, the same one that Bane uses, walks on in and uses a necromantic divine smite on the High Adventure. It was not looking very good for you.
Yeah.
It's like you've been cursed.
Oh my god. Well, fuck that guy. I should have asked his name while we were there. Oh, I
So
messed up.
you have all of your things.
Okay.
You just
Song.
currently for the time being, you'll have to keep trying to get to tear through your heart symbol.
Yeah. Alright, but I also wanted to make alteration to my armor. Instead of looking like Grandma knitted me a sweater, I actually wanted my exteriors to be padded with white fur, possibly like goat, or actually, cowhide is actually pretty thick.
Done.
Okay, 5 gold to you.
Okie dokie. Winter gear, all shacked up. Mounts at the ready. Whose mounts are going to be pulling the wagon this time? It's Rummy and
Do you want-
CYL is probably revolting as soon as that starts being a thing, so
I can-
someone else.
we can have Roach do it because Roach can calm the other horse, or can try to.
can try.
Mhm.
You certainly
Try.
may
Cool.
try. All right,
Yeah,
so
if you want to ride with me.
you little Gelt's horse,
Yeah.
and Rummy to it. Siren, as you guys are making your way, as the temperature has gotten colder, King leaves the house less and less.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah,
Doesn't
like the
he can
cold.
stay there. She'll
Go-
give him a ton of attention before we leave.
Nick understands.
As like you guys are packing up, you see King do like a little noodle, like to go and hop on, and then you see him kind of put his 2 paws straight into a thing of snow, and you hear, and he just hops right back inside.
Oh, poor baby.
Don't like the
You
cold.
know, well, before we leave, I'll leave like 15 gold to commission some weasel boots from Lila's wife.
All right. Lila gives you an odd look. She's hard to read at times, and you're definitely not sure what that look is. But she's like, I will see if that is
And
within her
15
power.
should be enough for more than boots. Whatever she feels she can manage.
Oh, good luck to her. So that'll be in the works whilst you guys are on your adventure.
Cool.
right.
Wagon loaded, provisions
Mhm.
had. Really, what time would you guys like to leave, and how many days after having said been given a job? I guess it's up to you guys.
Pretty much next day possible.
Yeah, as soon as we can really get away with it, depending on how much time it takes for clothes to happen and whatnot, I guess.
Yeah, it takes to get Gelt back into fighting shape. Well, not that he's out of fighting shape, but to wake Gelt's body back up from spending that much time, getting all of your clothes done, getting your various weapons and bits and bobs and everything, and the exact time of getting the job. It takes about a week, so it's been about 40 days since you guys came back from your time on Sorcerer's Isle. We'll say all together. So we've ran through most of what would be like October, November. So we're probably like what we would call in our world around Thanksgiving time.
Thanks. One last
Cool.
prep thing, actually, that I would want to do if I can, is just to buy a potion just to have on hand, please.
What kind of
Oh
potion?
my god, Alder. Yes.
Just a health potion, please.
You guys did
I
clear
cannot believe
Felistrum Wonder Cadoodle out last time.
We still
So.
have our potions.
Oh,
though.
that's
I have
right.
2 of mine.
Yeah, he's still tapped on stock currently. Especially
Damn
since he
it.
spent most of that time. He's been working on a different type of potion this last month.
That's fair.
So
Oh,
Sorry
no.
about that.
It's all good. It's all good.
I do have
Uh,
one, and I believe Gelt said he has 2, so we still have
Yes.
some floating around.
Okay. Because I definitely went through my 2 on the last one, so
Here, take mine.
thank you. That's
You're welcome.
very sweet, Rain.
I am more likely to be doing much more violent things in combat, so.
Well, the gesture's appreciated.
You're welcome.
Do you? Yeah. I will write that down in my inventory. That's all for me then.
Can I ask before we even leave about the lantern? So,
yes.
it's an action to attempt to capture a will-o-wisp. It's
Uh-huh.
also an action to tune it so that it doesn't do the electrical arcs.
Uh-huh.
So, is the optimal solution to have someone who isn't holding it tune it, and then the person who is holding it go capture something? Is that how it's supposed to work?
I guess you're gonna have to find out.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, that is up for you guys to decide whether that's a one-man job, a two-man job, a party job. How many do you want to have in there? I mean, you need one, if not more. If done correctly, you could capture quite a few will-o-wisps, and that might be worth having multiple people on that. Or you might say, well, let's grab one, focus on that one, and then kill all the other ones. Who knows?
Yeah.
That but that would be too telling. We'll have to find out.
Okie dokie.
All right. Good question.
Thank you.
So, the lost and founds on a cold morning, light snow and the last kind of breaths of autumn hanging in the air, begin their journey down the familiar Flan path. This time with war horses instead of just regular dinky ass horses, a wagon, and fundamentally different than the last time they went on this one. Which was fundamentally different than the last time they went on this? The last time they went on this one. You all begin to head out of the city now. Without horses, it's about a two-day journey. With horses, it's about a day's journey to get to Romsinkals. So go ahead. Who wants to roll me the perception check?
Probably me.
Okay.
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 My passive is 17.
And passive is 17. All right. Roll me a D100.
Oh dear. That's a 95.
A 95, you say? 95.
Yes, sir.
Okie dokie. Interesting. Your journey is uneventful. However, Siren,
Mm-hmm.
as you continue through this journey, you do notice an odd individual who appears and disappears all along your journey. They're wearing incredibly dirtied clothes, their hair a tangled mess of twigs and broken leaves. Looks like they probably haven't hit, haven't hit the water in quite some time. They have ears that are almost like a bat, and they occasionally watch you and then dart off and then almost impossibly appear on the opposite side of a road, another set of bushes, and then disappear. Sometimes 30 minutes in between, sometimes an hour in between. Just there seems to be no rhyme and reason. However, they don't approach you or ever seem to get too terribly close as you continue down kind of your journey.
What? Does it seem like it's always focused on us specifically?
Roll insight.
Okay. That's a 19.
As focused on you as the wind is focused on you.
Okay. I will calmly notify, Alder, since he's also riding on a horse. And probably, Alder, if you could kind of hold on to my reins while I beast sense. I'm just gonna see if it only appears near us, or is it just kind of just all over?
Okay. Who are you using beast sense with?
Greenhawk, if that's possible, or Bloodhawk, if that's possible.
Sure.
Redhawk.
Greenhawks
Greenhawks.
goes and you start sharing their senses. Roll perception with advantage.
Yeah, it's still really bad. So 12.
Greenhawks loses them in and out. Greenhawks has them sighted and then swoops down to get a closer look and then foomp, like they've blended into the forest itself.
Okay. I tried. Continue.
You continue. Besides the occasional pop-up of this figure, the rest of the day is almost completely uneventful. You find that besides the small talk of the weather, it's almost a painfully boring adventure. You've been so used to things happening on the trail. There's always something that seems to be coming after you guys, and quite frankly, besides the training with Gelts, you all haven't had a good fight in quite some time. Knowing the very real possibilities of the fight ahead almost makes it anxious. Just having what regular people would pray to Timora and other such gods for, to have good luck to travel from place to place. You all experience. the monotony of horseback riding from Flan to the crossing inn. And with good roads that have yet to really feel the full brunt of winter, you guys actually make a decent amount of time. And in the early, like very like not quite evening, there's still light outs, but you're able to make it to Romson Call's crossing inn.
Awesome. There is a stable that we can put our horses up in, correct?
Indeed, there is. Like any
Yeah.
reputable inn, there is stables and stable hands
Awesome.
to get you guys all set up. You, unsurprisingly, as you all have now noticed, get many strange looks from the stable hands, who you recognize are the same stable hands as the last time you were here, but they don't quite recognize you all.
Would you believe it?
Would you believe it?
Rain is never surprised anymore.
As you head into the crossing inns, which is once again kind of like that hostel setup where it's the big kind of circular with the not rooms, more of like curtained off areas, curtained off beds, with the center being, a large hearth. It's got, the odd bits and baubles of Romson's kind of journeys throughout the lands of Faerun. And upon entering in, you see going from kind of table to table, bouncing between the bar and different the couple of patrons that are here and there. You see Gerda Greenleaf.
Oh, yay.
Hi, yeah, can I get you anything?
Hi,
Gerda.
Gerda.
Have you
Siren?
been?
Yeah, I shrank a bit.
Right?
And that's the least of it.
Grew a bit.
Your skin's a different color.
Yeah, it happens a lot. More than I'd like, but I like it this way now.
Wait, what happened to Gelton Alder?
We're still here, friend.
Say hello to Gelton Alder.
Long time no see.
And she like reaches out. Okay, I know this trick, and like goes up and smacks both Gelt and Alder right in the forehead. Just pop. Huh. Usually that dispels it. What is this? And she like
No, we-
grabs like Gelt, like grabs both sides of your face and starts stretching it. Huh, this is really good. What about, how do you get the ears to work on this?
Oh, you only have to die once.
And be infused with chaos magic.
I feel like Romson would like this story much better than me.
Yeah. But no.
Is this because I didn't want to
us.
come work for you guys? Like, I
No.
really,
Yeah,
I really
well,
am
it's a
sorry,
little
but
bit,
like,
actually, a little
it kind
bit,
of
it's a
feels
little
really rude to take that out on a person.
No. This has to do with our job. It's price of adventure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Romson would totally. Hey, Rom! And from that. What? We have friends and visitors. And patrons? Patrons, right?
Mainly.
Yeah.
And patrons!
Mainly.
Your favorite kind.
Romson, we're coming.
Oh!
Hello.
So you, Ryan? Hold on. And coming out from kind of the kitchened area, kind of the back of the hearth itself, you see Romson in like like apron, whole thing, some flour on him, all that's the same, intricately scarred, bald head, big old beard and everything, and what? Adventure in life got to you, huh? Alright, what is it? Is it a curse? Is it a magical item? Is it a potion?
I'm cursed.
It's a bit permanent.
Yeah, this
Cursed. Got it. Makes sense. I'd hate to be.
Wait, no. I'm cursed otherwise. This is just also one other thing that's happened to me.
oh my gosh, no.
Double
well,
curse. That's rare.
Please no.
I guess you could call this. Oh, I suppose you could think of them as curses in a way, but no, it's price you pay of stopping the flow of chaos stuff.
Not in a enlarge reduce spell, because you look enlarged, you look reduced.
If it were that simple, life would be a lot easier. But no. This is us now. We'll tell the whole story.
Well, I'm gonna. Luckily for you, you're not the first larger patron I've ever had, so hold on. He goes through and from around here a large, just big scraping noise, and there is a well-worn but suitably large chair that Romson pulls all the way around. I can't sit you at a table, but you can come to the bar.
You got it.
And moves some of the stools aside, so like as the bar kind of like wraps around, it makes kind of like almost like a hexagon sort of deal. It's not like perfectly rounded all the way around, it's like a half hexagon from this side of the things. You get kind of like one whole section corner that's wide enough to accompany you, while the rest of you kind of fill in on the side.
Love it.
Well, it's good to see you all again. You're right, I was expecting you. Hey, Gerda, you're the one that handed me that letter. Yeah? What about it? Okay. And you hear him say a couple of words that, Alder, you now understand perfectly. And, boy, they are some... there's some choice words from Romson. And then you hear Gerda say another slew of words. And, boy, they are equally choice. If anything, you're a bit like, can I unhear those words? Is it possible to unhear those words? Unfortunately for you, the answer is no.
Alder just kind of looks around and tries not to say anything as best as he can.
Alright, well, so I know why you're here. You plan on heading out into the Twilight Marsh in the morning, or you just stopping here for some dinner?
I think we'll stop off for the night. It's always less than ideal to try and travel through the marsh when you can't see.
Well, that's a good point. Although, I'm just a human, but don't y'all have dark vision or something along those lines? I mean, I get it; it'd still be difficult. Gotta think
And
smart.
so do a lot of monsters.
The one thing that I'd be worried about is any of the people that we'd potentially hire to boat us out there probably don't in this area.
Yeah. Well, you would be correct.
Though, well, that's assuming that we're going to try and take the same way into Twilight Marsh that we did last time, which I think is probably our best bet.
Well, yeah, we've been believe what's his goddamn name? Fogblaw? No, that's not
Ogclaw?
it. Yeah, that one. King Scaly Lizard. Believe he's expecting you wherever it is that they go. Whatever island, that's all. I can't say that I make the trip a lot. I know Taru still does quite a bit of boating between there, back and forth. I mean, if anything,
All right.
I bet he'd be the one to take you.
Absolutely. He's We know he's good for it. He took us the last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he uh, doesn't shut up about, watching you guys fill a dragon. Tells all sorts of big tales about it. But, well, not everybody's cut out for this adventure in life, so you gotta take your one big story and live it up. So maybe you can give it a new one so it can at least tell something new.
Got it. I think that'll be our best plan then. But yeah, definitely leave it in the morning though. Still, unless for some reason you think leaving in the night would be more advantageous. Any particular goings on or rumors that you've heard about what's been happening?
Oh, rumors? I got plenty of rumors. I've heard that, Alright, pick an area. You want just Twilight Marsh rumors?
For right now, I think that'd be a good place to start, just to catch up on where we're actually taking place.
Well, the big one anybody's real talking about is a big ass black dragon. Apparently, big ass black dragon eating folks, liquefying folks, doing what it is them nasty ass lizards do. Other rumors that I've heard around. Let me think on that. I've heard that you ever heard of a hag?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Well, you ever heard of a hag coven?
Any addition to the word hag is probably bad, but not specifically.
Well, from what I hear, is that there's a hag coven, so one hag's already bad news, but sometimes they team up together, create like a little group, their own little guild. From what I hear, apparently they've been canoodling with said dragon. Now that's just what I hear. I hear hags are all bad, Every now and then we'll get somebody who comes in here say that they met these hags, and some of them say that they only ask for like a lock of hair. Some say they only ask for like a handshake. I've heard they even somebody came in and said they took a finger. But apparently, rumor is something happened with them. I've been way more active recently. Can't confirm it, but that's what I hear.
Any chance there's been sightings of will-o'-wisps around?
Ah, how'd you know about that?
The Emerald Enclave privy on these sorts of things.
Well, yeah. Next time they're privy on that, it'd be real nice if they could tell some people around here. Cause
That's
boy, will-o'-wispers some nasty little fuckers.
Yes, especially in great numbers.
I know. Fun fact, they're immune to lightning. Do you know that?
I did not know that. Thank you for informing me. That's actually very helpful.
Yeah, back in my adventuring days, I used to know a guy styled himself as a storm sorcerer. Threw a big old lightning bolt at a will-o'-wisp once. Didn't even phase it.
Wow. Yes, that's certainly good to know.
Absolutely.
Whereabouts have they been sighted?
Mostly closer to the marsh. I mean, the marsh is just such a shithole right now it's bad enough when you just had, the drums in the march, having people disappearing, there's folk coming out of their deep deaths, but now you got big ass fucking dragons, you apparently got hags making a name for themselves, you got will-o'-wisps coming out in droves. I've even heard tale that around some of the weirder, wilder parts of the Twilight Marsh that there's a half-dragon druid who patrols around there.
Whereabouts?
Uh, dude, oh, you got a map?
Of
Ye-
this region.
You should, Siren. I know at the very least
I-
you mapped our way in and out of
Yeah, from
going
King's
to King
Island.
Isle.
Indeed you
So,
did.
yes,
Look through your map book.
yes, I do.
Romson looks through your maps. Well, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, they're real good. Well, they're not on this trail, but I hear, and he kind of points more southern and out more east than kind of away from Ring Current Isles. Siren, roll me cartographer tools. Alder, roll me history with advantage.
Very nice.
14 for cartography.
Cartography.
And that is. I think I rolled with advantage. A 22.
22. It's in an area that you haven't mapped out, Siren. Romson kind of points more definitely into the Twilight Marsh, more east. Alder, you look at Siren's map, and then you pull out kind of your old map of the Cult of the Black Bull, and you don't have an exact location, but between Romson's pointing out Siren's map and your book, somewhere between Ring Current Isle and the Temple of the Black Bull seems to be where the rumors talk about this half-dragon druid.
Was that Black Bull or Black Bull?
Black Bull, Bull. It's if I say Black Bull, it's gonna be that for this entire adventure. I can almost promise that there will be no Black Bulls.
Just wanted to make sure.
No, that's an important distinction.
Yes. Interesting. Huh. Would that be terribly out of our way?
Well, we're going to be ending up going probably towards the Temple of the Black. Well, no, we need to go to the Temple of the Black
Oh,
Bull, correct?
right.
That's where Velvet's supposed to be.
Right. Yes.
So it should literally be on the way.
Perfect.
The fuck
Once
is
we
the Temple of
start
the
heading
Black
that
Bull?
Some kind of old ancient culty temple that's out in the Twilight Marsh.
Classic. Hunting a big ass dragon in an old cult's temple deep in uncharted territory. Boy, you just every time you guys come back around, you just make me miss the old days.
Rain is just beaming. He's just like, yeah, it's I don't know if I could do anything else any longer.
Well,
Yes.
To be completely honest.
don't say that, 'cause I also thought that once, and I'll tell you, even for you non-humany types, adventure in life does catch up with you.
Valid. Very valid.
Well,
I
since you're
always
staying here,
appreciate your wisdom.
I'm taking your money, but in return, food, drinks, and sleeps.
You got it.
Oh, yeah. How many days do you think you're gonna be leaving your horses here?
Shoot. How? Because we would know this because we have the map and everything. How long was our journey into? How long does it take to get to King's Island? Because that's where we're expecting to find Bogclaw.
You guys did not long rest when you guys went there, so to get down there, I mean, Mapping your way in took about 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. But now that you have it mapped in, and if Taru is the one who takes you, you could be at
Mhm.
King's Ringcurt Island, King's Landing, in like 4 hours. From
Okay.
there, what it takes to get to the Black Bull,
We'll have to see.
you'll have to see, and then whatever happens after that. So.
I always like, or I like your idea last time, Siren, of spending a little bit more than we'd expect because you never know how long stuff's gonna take. So, what do we want to say? 3, 4 days, just to guarantee.
I think of 4 days is fine, and whatever's left over will be a good tip.
All right, 4 days of stabling. Easy enough. I mean, they're just regular ass horses, right?
Oh no, sorry. We've actually managed to acquire some very fine war horses for ourselves, so it'll probably be a little bit of a premium.
Yep, more horses do eat more. And you eat more. Can you ride?
Yes.
Can you ride that war horse? I mean, they're big, but so are you.
No, I purchased a wagon that we've been using that's been working quite well.
Smart. All right.
Yep.
Wagon.
Be warned, one of the horses has a specific appetite, and another needs to be played with on a daily basis.
Yeah, we'll write down a list of some particular requests for the stable hands.
Yeah, you should definitely do that, cause man, it sounds like your horses are kind of a handful.
Yes.
Well, normal horses couldn't handle adventuring life.
Point taken. All right, 10 gold pieces. Hand over.
Siren will hand over 10 gold pieces.
Thank you, Siren.
Mm-hmm.
Done and done. All right. What do you want to drink?
Mead?
Mead? All right. I think
It's like some tea for the moment.
tea. Oh, yeah, you're a weird fuck. Actually, to be honest, now that you're an elf, that feels actually more on the nose.
Well, that's a defining factor.
All
Just
right.
have ale tonight.
Ale. Psst, 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 psst. Hey, what you want? Psst, 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 psst.
That,
Wow.
just so you know, that doesn't work.
You get a advantage check on perception, though.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, this conversation
That
would
would-
prove otherwise, but...
Can that be our signal from now on?
Can that be canon, though, Tom? Can you make that canon, please?
If Alder's eyes could light up like a Genasi could, they would at that comment. Just give me an ale that you got on the house. That'll do.
You got it. Alright. So, for my adventures, Gel, you get basically the equivalent of hot leaf juice.
Well, that's what I expect from.
Yeah, it's not very good. Tea's not really a specialty of the Crossing Inn.
Do they have
Plus,
squeege 11 for me?
what time of year do you think it is right now?
Hey, citrus fucking ripen in fall and can stay good through winter.
Do I look like I got a big old citrus trees in the back of here?
No, but I know it's freezing outside. Do you have some cold ones though?
Go. Calm down about your citrus.
This is weak tea, my
Well,
friend.
He wouldn't be an elf
if
if
you
he
could
didn't
just
make
drink
us last
alcohol
night.
like the rest of us, Your Highness.
You know what? If today was a bad day or a good day, we'd do it. So which one do you want to make it?
Oh my gosh, no, don't. We're gonna stop this now. Robson is a friend, Gelt.
Robson looks at you. It's gonna be that kind of day, huh? Yeah, sure. Let me go get you your lemon. He
Thank
takes your cups with him to the back. So, for my ale drinkers, they got something that is, well, since we're all gonna be on the nose today, this got me some dragon's breath. It's a bitter dark beer, known for its foul smell. Sometimes I'm
Awesome.
funny. For the mead,
That was a late joke, but I finally got it.
Which one?
For the mead, this is just gonna be it's a real basic mead. If anything, you can call it Daydreamer.
Christ.
Um,
Sounds like a drug.
it's pretty middle of the road mead. It's nothing fantastic, but also nothing terrible. It's just
It's mead.
right. It's definitely mead. Alder, you having some dragon's breath?
Let's go for it.
Yep. Definitely. Your sense of smell still definitely works, so that's nice. A lot of the drinking experience for you was now through sense. Gelt, Robinson returns, and you have tea, and you've been told that there's lemon in it.
Thank you, friend.
Yep, go ahead, Your Highness. Let's see you drink that right on up.
Get will refrain. He'll set it off to the side. It's a little warm there. I can see the steam. Looks like it's freshly brewed.
True
Can I
on
order?
all accounts.
I'll order an ale
Oh my
from that
god.
draft right there.
Sure thing. Is that a dragon's breath for you too? I'm asking
Yeah,
as the DM. Yeah. All right. So pours
yeah,
up
actually, yeah.
pours up the dragon's breath and a mead for Siren. For it's a stew on the side. Some bread. This it's the staples. It's just hearty food. No frills about it. You guys in the last couple places that you've gone from the exceptional hospitality, the leaky bucket, to the extravagance that is the velvet doublet, to now the down to earth crossing in.
Gotta love it.
That it's everything is promised as always.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell me the story of how this and gestures to y'all,
Well,
and then we could
Have
just
you-
say we could say you
Exactly.
tell that whole story,
yeah.
and then we tell the
Starts with
story.
the well.
Uh,
Well, the first line would be, "Well, did you hear about all the stuff coming down the Stoja now?" And then the story starts.
I did hear rumors about stuff going down the Stoja now. Time passes. Go ahead and everybody roll me a Constitution saving throw. Let's see how much time passes.
11?
Nice.
That's an early night for you, Siren.
That's a 5.
Oh yeah. Older, like you've just been getting wrecked on alcohol since you got back. These tabaxi bodies got no alcohol tolerance.
Need some cat liquor, please.
Regular liquor is just like, it doesn't matter like how much or how little. Like you start to think to yourself, you're like, how did I make it through the second half of the Zen and Trim night? And then you realize, I don't remember how I made it through the second half of the Zen and Trim night.
I have zero clue.
The last thing you remember is getting your coin and holding it, getting a kiss on the forehead from Chab, and then it is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Then it was a day and a half later.
Are we gonna have to get you like a snuff box of like catnip or something so
Oh
that
my
you don't
gosh.
just get drunk under the table every day?
I would like to drink actual drinks. Thank you.
You can smell them now.
I
Goat,
got
what'd
a
you roll?
19. I posted in
19.
chat. Sorry.
and I got a 24. I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, no, well, much like I believe last time at the Crossing Inn, Siren and
Not
Alder,
quite that bad.
not quite. Oh, definitely not for Siren. For Alder, this is pretty bad.
Siren recognizes the early stages and takes care of him.
Yeah, so it's an early night for the two of them, but Gelt and Rain tell the whole story, all the gritty details, all the things. It takes a while just to go through how many. Yeah, I mean it was 8 fights back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And then the second floor and the top floor and all the changes.
Yep.
It's a hell of a story. It can't be told quickly. So by the time you guys are done telling the story, Gelt, your tea is long gone cold.
Well, he ignored it at that point.
The
Its yellow color went a little more brown.
Gerda has gone to kind of her snooze corner and is snoozing by the time you guys finish. The Crossing Inn is heading towards the deep night shift. Romson
Yeah.
thanks you for the tales, and the night concludes with a hearty finisher, a nightcap, so to speak.
Hmm.
Let's see. Who's taking a nightcap? Gelton,
Rain.
No.
Rain. All right, not
Oh,
Gelton. Rain.
okay,
Roll
go.
me a
Rain
d12.
is.
Geltel
D12?
has a 1.
Yeah,
Got it. D12. That's 6.
a 6. 1, 2, 3. It is a nightcap, and I kid you not, it is called Fireball, which is unironically a spicy whiskey. So you take a quick nightcap of that, and Romson begins kind of making the preparations as you head off. They have to push 2 beds together for you, Rain.
I'm just so glad that he's able to accommodate. He is, at the end of the night, he's like, Ramson, thank you so much. You're a very good man, and you run a very good establishment.
Correct on all accounts, buddy. Good thing you make a damn fine adventurer. And he jumps up and pop, get you on right in the face. Not like one of those friendly slaps, but he's not quite tall enough to do it, so he just, goes up and Gah. Yeah, I'll make the effort to jump up there. Don't you worry.
Oh, I love it. All right. Good night, friend.
Good night.
Good night, lost and found.
Good night, Robinson.
Right. Well, I'm long gone at that point, but anyway.
Yeah, you.
Suddenly there's just a chorus of Lost and Found just saying, "Good night, Alder. Good night,
my
Rain.
God.
Good night, Geltz. Good night, Siren. Good night, Alder. Good night, Siren. Good night, Rain. Good night, Geltz."
God.
And then eventually, "Hey, Lost and Found, shut the fuck up. Go to bed. God damn. You'd think for people who might have to fight a dragon tomorrow, you guys would just shut the fuck up and go to bed. Fuck. Other people here drinking." So after a light reprimand from your innkeeper, sleep comes to 3 of you quite easily. Gelt, you're still struggling with the whole trance thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you go to trance, every time you go to trance, you see the same figure, and every time he is there to mock you. Push
And
all
this
your
time-
buttons.
And all this time would be like, if you're to take me to the grave, what's your name?
My name, my name is the biggest pain in the ass you're ever gonna know.
Well, best remember it then, huh? My name's Geltmore. Marchion.
Ooh, what are you gonna do? Smite me? Oh wait, that's right. You can't.
Nope. And I'll flip him the invisible bird with the left hand.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of you just sitting there right there. So you trance through the 4 hours, and it's really just a countdown of just how long you gotta stare at this dude's fucking face. But morning eventually does come back around. If anything, the 4 extra hours that you have allows you to go through the motions, the Tai Chi motions, as you will, the Leo Sin House of Tai Chi.
Yes.
You all wake up. It is a beautifully, briskly, borderline cold morning, but the crossing inn is warm as you all awaken to a easygoing breakfast. This time, it's even though I as Dom hate it, it makes a lot of sense. Oatmeal, some porridge, got the whole thing. Morning drinks. The morning is easy and uneventful until the door opens up and there's a young human male, one that you all recognize immediately as the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Taru, the farmhand. Well,
Taru.
howdy doody. What's up, lost and found?
How you doing, Turo?
Well, I'm doing mighty fine, all things considered. Time to get the old adventuring gear back up, I suppose.
You know, Taru. It is
Yeah.
the mission.
If you, I suppose you may have heard, but yeah, we need your help.
Well, shoot, you and everybody else trying to go from here to Ringkern Islands back and forth. You know what a pain in the ass it is to try to get like 10 different families, all their livestock back and forth? Let me tell you, it's a big pain in the ass. I don't have nothing clever to say about it.
Well, I can only imagine, considering how that terrain is and everything like that. But good on you for helping everybody.
Well, hell yeah. You know, that Bachclaw feller, he ain't too terribly bad. Not very smart. He's not what you call an intellectual type like myself. But,
Nope.
honorable and all that.
He's very much my mate, though. He can stand by us.
He's your meat? That's kind of weird, 'cause I saw him walking around. He's got all of his meat.
No, that's my friend there, Taru.
I think you said. I believe you said he said mate, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you liked lizard folk like that. But hey, you'd make a
At least
fine
keep your
queen,
tongue.
Gelt.
Oh my god. Oh, I love you, Taru. I have missed you. All right.
Yeah, Buck, I didn't know they made dwarfs that big.
You really didn't skip a beat with all our appearances, and good on you, Taru. That's very much appreciated.
Definitely, it's refreshing.
Oh, to be honest, Gerda came and saw me way early and gave me a heads up 'cause she knew I was going to have a little bit of what you'd call a freak out. So I was pre-prepped for this one. And let me tell you, had I not been pre-prepped, I would have most definitely had a freak out.
Well, we'll have to thank Gerda when we have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
If she don't get lost on the way here, man, that girl don't know where she's going half the time, and she makes this trip all the goddamn time. No wonder her cousin's always worried about her. Fuck, I'm worried for her. And I'm pretty sure she's just around back right now.
She has a want to wander, and I can respect that.
A lusty wanderers, I believe what that's called.
Yes, exactly. That is the only way Raina's referring to it now. Well,
Like I said,
uh,
I'm an
yeah.
intellectual.
Is my size going to be a problem with your boat?
As long as there's not two of you. Should be just
Cool. All right, because I do have
You just
a
gotta stay towards the front,
cool.
and then we all gotta stay towards the back.
We'll make it work. If it gets a little bit too out of hand, I do have a limited ability to reduce my size still.
You know, that might actually be easier, but let's see how it goes first. Worst comes to worst, you're just gonna have to fucking walk it off. I mean, you'll be fine. It'll only come up to maybe your nipples.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better about doing this. I can touch the bottom now.
I know, last time you almost drowned.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good stuff. Um,
If it makes you feel better, tons of the critters that would have been around last time we did all that been real scared away by that big old dragon. I mean, I
all
haven't
right.
seen it, but I know the signs now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Real crafty.
You'll be an expert on dragons in no time, Taru.
Well, I hope not. Actually, that sounds terrible.
That's a valid response.
I was gonna say, if everything goes well, hopefully we don't have a whole lot more dragons to deal with.
Yeah,
If I
that
had
would
wood, I'd knock
certainly
on
suck.
it.
All right.
You see, Taru's voice just kind of hikes that extra octave right there.
Alrighty. Well, we obviously will be compensating you for your assistance, Taru, as is our nature. How much will we owe you for taking us down to the Crescent Isles, or whatever it's called?
Well, called Ringcurrent Isles is
Ring
technical
current, that
term.
one.
King's
you.
Landing, exactly usually where Bog Claw's at. Well, let's see. The last time we did this, how much did y'all pay me last time we did this? That was for a little dragon. This is for big dragon. Just get big dragon pay. Well, let's see. There's 4 of you. And a 4 times 4 is 8. And 8 with a big old dragon with a 0 behind it. Hopefully 0 of you die. 80 gold. And I'm your ride. That's how math works.
Rain is going to just not say anything, and he's gonna not say anything, not respond to the math is what I'm saying, and says, considering how good you've done by us in the past, and considering the high amount of danger inside of the marsh right now, I think that's doable, Taru. And Rain will pull that from his pocket because I haven't spent money on stuff in a while.
Alright. Man, you guys need to go on adventures more often. I'll be able to buy myself something real nice. Takes your gold, pockets it. That's what you get for being an intellectual, Tyru. Alright. Alright. Alright, we ready to do this?
Yeah, I believe we are. Unless anybody has any other reason to dilly-dally.
Nope.
No reason.
Good.
Well,
Then,
skitter
yeah.
titter. Let's
But
go get
I
it.
still would like to.
All right. Well, let's get to getting. Get on that boat.
So you all gather your things. I'm gonna do this for your guys' sake and also the sake of the crossing in. Are you gonna stop by the stable hands and give them a list of how to treat your horses?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was about to bring it up.
Yes. We need lots of different feed for Flamir, please.
Yeah,
Flamir,
we had
lots
it
of
all
different
written
feed.
down in different handwritings and shit. Rummy needs playing with.
Rummy needs to be played with. Your horse.
It was Isilael kicks.
Sea kicks. You found that one out the hard way, but thanks. What about this horse? Referring to your horse, Gelt.
Oh, this is Roach.
Well, yeah, what about it? That one needs different feeds. That one kicks. That one's got to be played with.
Roach here does what he needs to do.
Roach may be the best behaved horse I've ever seen.
Well, all right, that's nice. That really rounds that on out.
So
Oh,
Tyranny,
quick heads up too, by the way, with Flamir, he does kind of start to like mimic some laughter when he gets a little shook. Just don't be freaked out by it. We give him a good little pat.
It's like person laughter. It's interesting.
He will mimic your own laughter. It gets. I think it catches some people off guard. Just be aware.
Horse that mimics people's laughter. That's a new one.
Yeah, it surprised me too.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So with your list put together to avoid the destruction and shin kicks that Capitol Hill received, and to not come back to tied up horse, you all make your way down to what's the river that's by the crossing in? Oh my God, that's scary. I did not see that was posted. That's kind of shooketh. Oh, that's you're not gonna give it to me? Well, okay. The river that eventually leads down into from the Vanishing Hills into the Twilight Marsh. You have Taru's excellent guidance. Leans on your map, Siren, which makes this for a between Taru having made this journey quite a few times and your map skills, it's an incredibly fast journey. Instead of 4 hours, you guys make it there in like
Cool.
3.
Nice.
There it is. There, getting really Rain. You just got to be careful getting on and off the boat.
Got it.
Yeah, you have to step into the middle of the boat and then make your way forward once everybody else has already sit in the back. It takes some coordination. So as long as you're not hopping on real quick, you're usually fine.
Perfect. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Siren's probably gonna pass the time kind of perfecting the details of her map.
Go ahead and roll me a cartographer tools.
Okie dokie. 10.
10. You start going through, and Sarah, with your past perception and cartographer tools, you realize what's messing up your map is the destruction that you see all around you in the Twilight Marshes. When you first arrived, you could see some marks of claw marks or acid, but now you're seeing it on a much larger scale. When you went here the last time, most of the time you couldn't even see the sky, but now you see big, almost looks like wounds in the forest of it being kind of ripped open towards the sky. And you can see the mid-morning sun. Places where, old ancient oaks are toppled over and felled from just the corrosion of the different acid. Even what should be a vibrant ecosystem is unnaturally quiet and always off to kind of the corners of your eyes, but never long enough to see, not just Siren, but everybody kind of during this trip can see faint bits of light that duck in and out in the darkly shaded corners. And unlike the last time we were here where there's so much foliage, it made it kind of just dim light the whole time there, with the big patches of light and then places of condensed darkness, it's constantly disorienting as you're going through.
I think if anyone's paying attention, they would definitely notice Siren is scratching her left shoulder more and more increasingly as we get deeper into this swamp.
If you can listen real closely, you can hear a faint humming coming from Siren's left shoulder. Almost less of a hum, more of a buzz. Anyways, you guys make, even with all of the signs of kind of destruction, signs of anger, one might say, um, you do eventually make it towards the Ring Current Islands. Um, while they weren't in fantastic shape the last time you guys went there, they are in even worse shape. What looked like former, there's still buildings up, and only, a good number of places had been destroyed, but enough to still maintain the semblance of a lizard folk village. Um, Now is more a site of devastation. It's immense on scale. All of the huts on the island have been destroyed by acid. There's dead lizard folk that have been ravaged by acid and claws and teeth, and they're scattered all about in numbers that you are. The implication of how many dead lizard folk there are compared to how many you killed and how many must have been left at your lips sends a very real panic at the idea of how many lizard folk have been lost. And standing kind of towards the center, helping move different dead lizard folk from one area to the next, scooping up as much as remains on some of these, is the always impressive large figure of King Buckclaw, standing next to a smaller lizard folk that seems to be wearing shamanistic clothing, not dissimilar to the shaman you guys met in the pyramid, but far less of the mutations that you saw. These are natural, bred and born and raised lizard folk.
Gelt will speak out to Bagla and Draconic. And it was, Bagla! How are you, my friend? Long time no see.
Really, dude?
Warm blood. Buckclaw is happy to see you. Come.
Happy to see you too, my friend. Although, the circumstance you're in doesn't seem too ideal.
We're here to help.
You go up to Buckclaw and he, with his, well, you walk up and he hears your voice and then he turns around and immediately goes into a defensive position.
Oh, good. Please, friend, don't be on guard. Much has happened to me since we've last met.
Sounds like friend, but is not friend. What have done with friend?
Please believe, Bakla. I have died and have been reincarnated into this body.
Buckclaw does not understand.
I lost my life, but regained a new one.
Buckclaw does not understand, and then looks towards the rest of you all. Not going to reiterate all the changes all over again. I think we've driven that home.
Yep.
Tyranny, if you don't mind, would you pull out your dagger real quick?
We don't have it.
I would if I could, my dear. Cyrano
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot.
will say that smug little
Sausage.
comment she made when she revived him after the fight was over. See if he remembers that. He might not.
I'm sorry, Siren, slash Kaya, would you unplug and replug your mic in? There's a ton of static coming in.
Just a bit.
So I could not quite understand what was said, if it was a mention towards me.
Basically, I was just saying, she would say that smug little comment she made when she revived him, after the battle. I don't know if he remembers it, but she'll try it.
So small. Buckclaw, does not have a well. Let's see. Does not remember. Then does not has zero recollection. But you look the same. In Draconic, Vodclaw says, "So small, but same. So big, but same." And looks to Rain and sees your scales and runs his fucking dagger-like claws against it, and you can feel like better, much better. Now that you stand and you can look each other in the eyes, Baclaw still probably got you by a couple inches, but
Mm-hmm.
he's definitely not nearly as wide as you are.
Rain says, "Yeah, you were right. It is better this way." As he rubs his scales.
Baclaw is confused. Why return?
To solve what's going on out here. To help.
Wait, is Bucklaw speaking common right now?
Baclaw is speaking Draconic.
Oh, my apologies. Then I'm not the one responding.
Oh shit!
Excuse me.
Sorry, no, I thought you were speaking common, so I thought you were speaking.
No, Baclaw has never learned Common.
Oh, that's fucking right. God damn it! So only Alder and I can speak.
Occasionally, some words come out in Common, but they're very, very few, far in between. It's like when you hear, like in a sub where they say like American words, and you're just like, that's not how you
Yeah.
pronounce that.
I get it.
A hamburger. A hamburger.
Hamburger.
Nice.
Nice. Whoa! Holy shit!
Well, then I guess Alder and Gelt need to do the talking.
So Gelt will respond back. We've heard you were having issues out here, Backlon. We've come to assist once again. Can you please inform us more of the situation out here?
Baclaw, real quick, everyone roll me a perception check.
You got it.
Oh, Christ almighty. Hey, did I give away the headband? Who has the headband right now?
You still have
Alder.
the headband.
I thought I
Unless you
gave
gave it to Alder. Then Alder
I thought
has
I
the
gave
headband.
Alder. Alder, didn't I give it to you?
Plan was to give it to me. I don't know if you
I
want
thought
to.
we
You can
did
give it to me
I-
now.
Then yes,
no,
Alder has
no,
the
no.
headband.
I thought we did that, so I'd like to retcon that way in the past then. So I already marked it off on my stat sheet, which is the only reason I'm asking.
Got it. Yes, Alder does have the headband of intellect.
6 intelligence, or 6 fucking perception.
6,
That's a 14 perception.
14.
Passive of 17.
I also got a 14.
Oh, passive's 9.
As you guys are starting to converse with Bogclaw, you see that the shaman looking figure is going to many of the dead lizard folk and putting something into their mouths. Who's trying? Gelt, roll me religion, because I believe you're trained in religion.
I am, but I gave up the headband, so
Don't matter.
I still have it though. And that's a lot better with 16.
16. Yeah, looking at it, you can see that these are fetishes that are likely talisman to prevent the bodies from rising as undead.
Hmm.
As you speak to Bogclaw, he, in his own Bogclaw way, which would be quite painful for me to do, describes kind of what happened after you guys left. Of how for a short time they were able to get control back over the Twilight Marsh to unite the clans, the it's the Dusk, the
Marsh.
Muck Marsh, and don't tell me I got this. Don't tell me I got this because I can pull the thing up. The Root Water. And it's like something water. So all the clans briefly united, and for a time, the king was rightfully restored until Velvet made their return, and their wrath was terrible. The it takes zero imagination to imagine kind of what happened afterwards. Once Velvet returned, though, that's when things got even worse. Once Velvet returned, that's when the will-o-wisps and the undead started to appear. They know that Bogclaw is fairly certain of where Velvet slumbers, or at least has made their home at this point in time. Towards the east, which kind of confirms what you guys already know. However, what Bogclaw and eventually the shaman do relate is that even though Velvet did destroy the lizard folk village, they green hags, and they're not sure why. But what they do know is that they're missing one of their tribe, and that their home is to the direct east of here.
Okay. Sounds like we're
Would
gonna have
that
to
be the
deal with some
same
pretty-
region as the half dragon druid?
It would indeed.
Do they know, Bogclaw, do you know the names of these hags, perchance? Have they given any name? Green Tooth or Black Tooth or something Tooth?
Bogclaw does not know name. The hags are not from Twilight Marsh.
Unfortunately.
Not our Twilight Marsh. No place for hags in a king's Twilight Marsh.
Ask if he's heard about this half dragon that we've heard rumors about.
Bogclaw sits and
Okay.
thinks.
Send me that Gelt translates for me.
Yeah, no. I was taking a drink, but it makes it easier that way.
I was going to, but I was like, I think Jacob was talking.
I was going to, but I was taking a drink. But continue on, Dom. Sorry.
And nods, and Bogclaw knows where Druid marks territory. Bogclaw respects cunning. Very cunning.
You are smart King Bogclaw.
What color are they, if you know?
Translate.
Black.
Oh.
Boy.
Controls many beasts. Queen of lesser beasts. Not a king, but still. And you
Someone
see that there's
you-
a
Siren like bitterly crosses her arms. A real druid wouldn't lord over animals, but whatever.
I'm sure
Love you,
Bogclaw would
Jared.
say something if he could understand what you were saying.
All right. Well, we seem to have definitely confirmed our heading, at least.
So we know where to go. Do we want to just press on, or do we need a rest for the night?
No, we've only traveled for about 3 hours.
It's not even noon yet.
Yeah,
we
that's
saw
what I thought.
plenty of daylight.
Yeah.
We're still gonna have to boat our way out that direction through the marsh,
Yeah.
still, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
Because,
just making sure.
yeah, Unfortunately, the only dry land that you guys know of is up toward Romson Cow's place, and the island you're currently standing on. Everything else is
Joy.
Twilight Marsh.
All right.
But as you guys are having this conversation with Bogclaw, there is the Twilight Marsh is quiet, but it grows even quieter. And Siren, with your passive perception, you are just able to hear the sound of
On your feet. Pay attention, everyone.
and Siren is able to turn just in time as you see these three orbs of light surrounding this what looks almost like a living pile of marsh just erupts from behind and starts heading onto the islands towards you all. And that's where we're going to end for today.
All right.
Hey, here comes the encounter. One of many, I'm sure.
Well, all right, folks. There's another one. Sorry we couldn't get to the combat, but if we start this now, we are not going to finish it.
Exactly.
By the time we get there. So, as long as there is no reason not to, we will be at it on Sunday. So,
Yep.
As far as I know, yes.
excellent. Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Hi, chat.
And later, good job for getting to the end of this. Well done, YouTube. Hey, Future Dom. Look, it's another one. Isn't this a fun game that we play? Phone 5!